The rain hit the windshield like nails. My old Ford groaned in the dark, engine off, hard on. In the glove compartment, divorce papers, signed, dated, ready for Monday. 22 years of marriage, reduced to a stack of ink and pride. I told myself it was over. Simple, clean, no drama. Then I saw her. Through the restaurant window, Applebee's, Hilliard Road. Maya was laughing. God, that laugh used to be mine. My hands gripped the wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. If love dies slow, mine was bleeding out tonight. I wasn't supposed to stay. I wasn't supposed to care. But one sentence, one damn sentence, was about to wreck everything I thought I knew about my wife and about myself. Hit subscribe and keep listening, because what I heard that night didn't just stop a divorce. It rewired the way I see love, pride, and what it means to be a man. The kitchen light is too clean for the mess in my head. Chicken, corn, beans, cold. Ohio State whispers from the TV like a neighbor through drywall. Maya slips in late, Kroger tag still on, eyes ringed with the kind of tired you can't sleep off. We share a table, not a life. Forks tap, nothing moves. My phone flares. Retraining for workers 45 plus. I kill it fast, like swatting a fly that keeps landing on my pride. Across from me, her phone wakes. Couple goals, 15 years strong. Two perfect strangers kiss in golden light. Maya's mouth curves. Quick, real. When did I stop earning that? We don't talk. We count chews. The room hums with the sound of married silence. She rises, stacks plates, thanks me for I don't know what. I nod like a man auditioning for furniture. Her chair scrapes. My throat locks. I try for a sentence that isn't needy or weak. My tongue feels like a bad tool for a job I should have finished years ago. The TV cuts to a crowd roaring. It might as well be for my funeral. Her phone lights again, screen spilling on my plate. Tomorrow night, Applebee's. She laughs at something small and happy. Something thin inside me cracks like lake ice. No splash yet, just the warning. Hey, I say, finally, voice dry and thin. She looks up. I hesitate, then she saves me without meaning to. I'm meeting Jenna, Priya, and Lauren tomorrow. Applebee's. I won't be late. Weather report tone. I nod like weather can't touch me. She passes by, carrying the smell of a new perfume. Bright, sharp, like new paint over old water damage. Change you can't ignore. I watch her leave the room and feel my heartbeat argue with my backbone. Ask or don't. Be a man or be quiet. I'm not stupid. I know what silence can hide. Later, in the garage, the air is cooler. The Ford waits like an old dog that knows the truth. I pop the glove box. The envelope stares. Franklin County Domestic Relations, my signature slashed across it like I was trying to outrun my own hand. 22 years, flattened into paper and ink. I picture that ad, retraining 45 plus, and taste rust. I picture her laugh at the screen and taste loss. Clean cut, I tell myself. Ask. But the question curdles in my mouth. I close the glove box, palm the lock, feel the click echo up my arm. I'm not stupid. I'm just afraid to ask straight. So I make a different promise. Tomorrow, I follow her to Applebee's. One hand on the wheel, the other on the divorce. Morning smells like cardboard and sawdust. Home Depot hums with forklifts and young backs that don't ache yet. I stand in line with an application half filled, the pen too heavy for a man who used to fix anything. At the counter, a name tag, Alvarez. He says, whenever you're ready. Easy, like this isn't a cliff. My hand shakes when I write age 50. I scratch it out, rewrite it cleaner, like neat letters can save a crooked season. Two kids in orange aprons joke about weekend plans. Lake, beer, someone named Kelsey. Their laughter bounces off the rafters. I used to bounce. Now I absorb. Alvarez asks a normal question about availability. My mouth answers something reasonable, but my chest is busy doing math it can't solve. Mortgage, gas, pride, time. I picture Maya's new perfume cutting through our small kitchen. I picture my signature slashed across divorce papers like a road I've already taken. I set the pen down. I tell him I'll finish online. He nods, not judging, which somehow stings worse. Outside, the wind grabs my application and rattles it like a cheap flag. Work equals identity. So what am I now? I drive home with the radio off, the day buzzing in my ears, and the evening already waiting to test what's left of me. The bills lay flat and mean. AEP, gas, the quiet debt of ordinary life. Maya taps numbers on her phone, jaw set, eyes tired in that permanent way. I sit across from her with a mug of coffee that went cold while I wasn't looking, like most things lately. She lists due dates. I nod like a bobblehead on an empty dashboard. We don't fight. That's the problem. Fighting would mean we still have teeth. We pass words back and forth like blunt tools. Can we cut this? Maybe skip that? Her pen circles a line item. My pride wants to argue. My mouth signs the surrender. Her group chat comes alive. Ting, ting. Small bells that feel like nails tapping inside my chest. I stare at my mug. She glances at the screen and smiles that polite, automatic smile people save for good news that isn't theirs. Roommates, keeping the lights on. Married, in theory. I say, I'll handle gas, and she says, thanks. And I feel nothing but the shape of the space between us. The house hums. The numbers add up. We don't. Another ping. Applebee's plans confirmed. She doesn't notice me notice. The sound hits the hollow in me and echoes. I swallow it down, then make a promise only I can hear. Fine, be quiet now. But tomorrow night, I'm done guessing. Derek texts. Beer tonight? Clear your head. I let the screen go dark. I don't want a head. I want a verdict. Out front, Mr. Hensley hoses his lawn like he always does. A slow sweep, a nod my way. We trade the kind of neighbor look that says everything and nothing. The late sun stretches across the street. Our shadows shrink like we're being erased. I stand on the porch and count the ways I used to be useful. Broken latch, fixed. Dead outlet, fixed. Furnace hiccup in January, fixed. All those small wins stacked up into a man. Somewhere along the way, the stack toppled, and I pretended not to hear it. Inside, the house carries on. Fridge humming, clock clicking, the ordinary sounds of a life still on. I think about the bills, the Applebee's plan, the perfume that didn't used to live here. I think about my signature on those papers, slanted hard like a storm front. Enough fog. I need a line I won't cross back over. Monday, I tell the empty room. File it. Be done. The words sit heavy, but they sit. Not rage, not drama, just cold resolve, like ice finally finding its level. Tomorrow, I only need one thing, proof. Then Monday keeps its promise. Maya stands at the mirror, fingers adjusting hair she's fixed 100 times, but tonight it looks new. Applebee's with Jenna, Priya, and Lauren, she says, casual, eyes not quite meeting mine. The perfume rides the air, bright edge, fresh start. I say, yeah. Say, have fun, the way a doorman says, evening. She grabs her bag, checks her phone, the door clicks shut. The house exhales. I hold still long enough to hear the quiet, fridge, clock, my pulse. Then the quiet holds me back and I shrug it off. Keys in my hand, cold metal, certain sound. The garage light washes the Ford in tired yellow. I open the glove box and tap the envelope once, twice. It taps back in my head. Franklin County, domestic relations. A finish line I could cross before breakfast. Not yet. The engine turns over. I back out slow, headlights sliding over the mailbox like a searchlight over calm water. I tell myself this isn't stalking, it's clarity. 22 years deserves truth, not theories. Out on Hilliard Rome, the sky is turning the color of a bruise. I keep a car length back, no radio, no breath to spare. Her blinker flashes right. Applebee's sign burns ahead, red and certain. I follow, one hand on the wheel, the other still feeling the weight of paper. The lot is freckled with rain, each drop a tiny tap on the skin. I kill the engine and sit a beat, watching wipers smear the world into streaks. Applebee's glows warm, patio open, yellow bulbs strung like a promise I don't trust. Maya's at a table with Jenna, Priya, and Lauren. 3 menus, 4 waters, no men. My lungs let go a little. My heart doesn't. I slide out, keep to the shadows. and find the slice of wall near the open window. The air leaks music and fryer heat. Forks ping. A server laughs. I tell myself this isn't drama. It's witness. 22 years deserve facts, not stories I invent to survive the night. Maya's shoulders tilt toward her friends, sleeves pushed to the elbow like she came ready to fix something she can't name. She tucks hair, nods, smiles the public smile I saw at our kitchen table. From here I can read faces better than words. Jenna leans in. Priya's gaze softens. Lauren's eyes sharpen. A huddle around a wound. Curiosity drains out of me. What's left is vigilance, cold, alert, counting breaths. I edge closer, close enough to see water bead the rim of her glass, close enough to hear metal kiss ceramic. If truth is coming, I want to meet it on my feet. I lean into the window's breath and listen. Sound spills in pieces, a pop song the speakers barely believe in, forks tapping plate edges, the light squeak of a chair pulled closer. Jenna's voice drops to a thread. Maya nods like she's agreeing with gravity. Priya reaches across and cups Maya's wrist, the way you hold a bird you're afraid to hurt. Lauren doesn't reach. She aims. Are you happy, Maya? Or are you just staying? The question lands without foam or sugar. Maya laughs, small and wrong, the kind of laugh a person uses to pay a bill. Her fingers worry the napkin until it looks chewed. The public smile flickers, then dies. For a second, she stares at the middle distance like there's a ledge there. Her shoulders climb her neck. The room is warm. She rubs her arms anyway. I watch the exact moment the lift leaves her face. A shine rims her eyes. Priya squeezes. Jenna nods once, slow, a green light for honesty. Lauren waits like a lock that needs the right key. Inside my chest, something tightens like a belt. The music keeps pretending everything is fine. My hands find the window frame and hold on. Maya inhales, long and shaky. The napkin pauses. Her voice grows in her throat, thin at first, then sharper. And the first tear finally lets go. I hold my breath and lean into the frame. Rain fattens, hard pellets on metal, the kind that make a night feel final. A gust slips through the patio and the window eases open another inch, like the room itself wants me to hear. My fingers find the wood, grip until it bites. Then her voice cuts clean through the pop song and the silverware. He's not himself anymore. It lands exactly where the ribs meet. I brace for the follow-up. The name, the man, the easy story that would let me be the victim and walk away clean. The rain answers first, louder, a steady drum that drowns my excuses. My pulse counts like a second hand that hates me. Inside, chairs scrape, a napkin sighs. Someone exhales like they've been holding it for weeks. I press closer, cheek to the cool edge, and close my eyes for half a second the way you do at a doctor's office, waiting for the needle. If she says a name, I'm done. Monday, papers, final. If she says nothing, I'm still drowning in the same room I built. The wind nudges the window again. I could swear the whole place leans in with me. Go on, Lauren says, and Maya does. He sits there like he's somewhere else, Maya says, words steady, voice not. I talk, he nods. I cry, he's quiet. The table doesn't move, but the air shifts. Priya squeezes her wrist. Jenna watches like a sister. Lauren waits for the thing that hurts. Maya swallows. He didn't cheat on me with a person. He cheated on me with silence. The sentence is a hammer, and it finds steel. My jaw locks. The rain falls all at once, like the sky gave up pretending. In my head, I hear every time I said I'm fine when I wasn't. Every grunt that stood in for a sentence, every night I hid in the TV glow and let her carry the weight of two. Do you still love him? Lauren asks, just like that. No ribbon on it. I don't know, Maya says, and her voice cracks on the knot. I just remember why I fell in love, and somehow that makes it worse. Silence floods my ears with heat. The old me, the man who could fix a furnace with a butter knife, feels a million miles away, like a station I sped past without looking. I wait for a name and get a mirror. A chair leg ticks against tile. My hands slip on the wet wood. The word silent keeps ringing like a fire alarm no one will pull. I open my eyes to the rain and finally see who I've been. I back away from the window, eyes hot, rain cool on my face like a slap I earned. My fingers let go of the slick brick. They ache from holding on to a story that wasn't true. No name, no other man. Just me, ghost version, haunting my own marriage. The parking lot hums with tires and puddles and some guy laughing at a joke that doesn't matter. My lungs pull hard, like I've been underwater too long. I see it clear and ugly. I left her first. I left the room, the conversation, the bed where words used to land easy. I traded sentences for grunts and nodded my way out of the man she married. The third person in our marriage isn't a stranger. It's the version of me that never shows up. I lean on the Ford, breathe through the sting, and count the years I thought being quiet was being strong. Silence felt like control. It turns out it's corrosion. I picture that envelope in the glove box, my own signature daring me to be lazy about the truth. Monday suddenly feels like a coward's shortcut. The door opens inside, chairs scrape. I can't stand here and pretend anymore. The rain lets up. I get in the car, grip the wheel, and drive home with one sentence following me like a taillight. I'm the third man. My absence did the cheating. The garage swallows me whole, familiar and hollow. I cut the engine and sit with the tick of cooling metal, the old Ford catching its breath like an old dog after a long walk. The house beyond is dark at the edges, the kind of dark that listens. I pocket the keys and reach for the glove box. The envelope stares back. Franklin County, domestic relations, paper that thinks it knows me. I take it to the kitchen. The bulb over the sink throws a tired circle of light. I set the envelope down like it might bite. The kettle thunks onto the stove, a promise of heat. 2 ceramic mugs, Columbus, shoulder to shoulder, chips on the rims from ordinary years that somehow didn't break us. I pour water and watch steam lift like a prayer I don't know how to say. I should rip the thing in half. I don't. Not yet. Not tonight. Tonight is for finding a voice that isn't a grunt. For showing up without a toolbox, without a fix, without the fake calm that kept us stuck. The envelope waits. I let it. Somewhere between the tick of the stove and the hum of the fridge, my decision settles. I don't file Monday, not blind. I wait for her. I tell the truth. I listen back. Tires in the driveway, headlights sweep the wall, the front door unlocks. The mugs breathe steam. So do I. The door opens soft. Maya steps in, eyes red around the edges, purse strap biting her shoulder. She stops when she sees the kettle, the 2 mugs, the steam curling like something alive. For a second, we just look at each other. No script, no alibi. "You're still up?" she says, voice roughened by a night that took more than it gave. "Yeah," I answer, which is miles longer than it sounds. The house settles. The fridge hums. The window fogs until our reflections fade out and it's just us, no audience. She hangs her keys, slower than usual, like she's not sure what room she's walking into. I slide a mug toward her side of the island and rest my hands flat, the way a man does when he's done hiding sharp things. We stand in that thick quiet, the kind that used to feel like a wall and tonight feels like a bridge you're afraid might hold. Her eyes meet mine. I don't flinch. She doesn't either. There's a lot in there, the fights we didn't have, the words we shoved under the bed, the years we tried not to bleed on each other. The kettle clicks off. Steam smokes the glass. I take a breath that sounds like a risk and break the silence, not with an apology, not with a defense. "Do you remember Westgate?" She blinks, surprised into a small smile. "The apartment with the mean radiator," she says, and the way she says it takes 10 pounds off the room. I nod. "Winter of busted heat," I add. "You used to tuck your cold feet under my thigh, like I was a space heater that loved you back." She laughs, the tired kind, but real, and covers her mouth like she's catching something that might fly away. I hold out my hand. It hangs there, palm up, a simple thing that suddenly feels like a vow. She hesitates long enough for doubt to clear its throat. Then her fingers find mine. Skin to skin, and the room changes temperature. The steam from the mugs drafts our faces, fogging my glasses, fogging whatever story I walked in with. Her hand is tense for a beat, then softens in the middle, the way a body does when it remembers safety. The old map rolls open. Cheap carpet, secondhand couch, the TV that only got 3 channels, laughter that didn't need subtitles. "I missed this," she says, almost to herself. I squeeze once to say me too. The heater in my chest kicks on. We stand there, dumb and brave, 2 people relearning how to touch. The kettle ticks as it cools. The mugs breathe. I don't reach for fixes. I reach for her. And when our hands settle, the next words have a place to land. The kettle clicks off and the house goes quiet in a way I can finally hear. Steam rolls from the mugs and fogs the small space between us. I wrap my hands around the heat like it's the first solid thing I've held in months. My voice comes out low, scraped clean. I disappeared. The words land heavy on the table and don't bounce. Maya's eyes hold mine. No phone, no safe escape route. "I was scared to say anything," she says, softer than I deserve. "I didn't want to hurt you." The truth sits there, simple, ugly, alive. I nod once. Not an argument, not a defense. A nod that means I see the mess and my fingerprints on it. I tell her about the ad for retraining 45+, how it felt like a mirror I didn't ask for. She tells me about walking through Kroger counting hours and ounces, pretending none of it was heavy. We say a few more plain sentences and let them stand, no polish. The heat from the cups fades. The air between us warms anyway. I don't apologize with speeches. I give her the quiet I used to hoard. She gives me her eyes and keeps them there. When the mug's empty, there's room for a plan. "Walk in the morning?" I ask. She nods. This time, yes. The ice cracks. Water moves. Dawn lifts slow over Heritage Trail, a thin gold edge easing the black out of the trees. Our steps find each other without trying, heel, toe, heel, like a rhythm we forgot but the body remembered. We don't talk much. Breath is enough. The gravel crunches underfoot, honest and small. A cool line of air runs down my neck and under the collar. The new sun lays a hand on our shoulders and softens what's knotted there. Birds thread sound through the space we don't fill with words. Her sleeve brushes mine. I don't flinch. I let the contact say what I'm not going to reduce with clumsy language. I think of all the mornings I skipped, the rooms I left, the repairs I chose not to make because they required a mouth, not a wrench. I don't promise miracles. I match her pace. I let the silence be shared instead of weaponized. When we hit the bend by the creek, she looks over, quick. I hold the look, steady, no speech, just presence. On the way back, the sun climbs a notch. Our shadows walk beside us, equal length. My chest loosens the smallest click. I don't say I'm here because you can see it. At the trailhead, we stop without stepping away. "Same time tomorrow?" I ask. "Yeah," she says, and we both mean it. We sit with our hands still touching, steam thinning from the mugs. I clear my throat. "Home Depot." I froze, I say. Stood at the counter, then walked. The words feel like I'm turning pockets inside out. Maya doesn't flinch. "Okay," she says. Not a lecture, not a sigh. Just okay. "When do you want to try again?" I huff a laugh that isn't brave. "When I'm less scared." She tilts her head. "Fear counts," she says. "It's a feeling. You're allowed to have it." I stare at the island, at a coffee ring shaped like a small moon. "I've been acting like fear means shut up," I say. "I'll talk instead, even if it's messy." "Messy is real," she says. Her voice has that low, tired kindness I used to live on. "Pick a day." "By Friday," I answer. "I'll go back. I'll finish the application. If they say no, I'll ask where I can be useful." We breathe. A truck passes outside. Somewhere in the house, a pipe knocks, old bones waking up. I squeeze her fingers once, not to fix anything, just to say I'm here. "And tonight," I add, "I'll stay. No disappearing into TV. You talk. I listen." She nods. Deal. The fear doesn't leave, but it stands down. A promise takes its place. Quiet, heavy, and mine to carry into tomorrow. We spread the bills like a map of a country we still own. AEP, gas, the little things that add up to heavy. Maya opens a spreadsheet on her phone. I pull a legal pad and a black pen, old school. What can go? She asks. Extra streaming, I say. The stuff we don't watch. She taps, cancels, saves us $12 that somehow feels like a win. If Home Depot bites, I say, I'll take every evening they'll give me, overtime if they ask. The word if sits there, thin as paper. I underline try anyway. She draws boxes, small goals you can actually hit. Gas down $30, groceries tighter, 1 dinner out a month, not 3. We sign our initials next to each like a truce. I tape the list to the fridge beside a faded magnet from Westgate. The door thunks shut and the paper holds. Plain, stubborn, like us when we're good. She leans against the counter, arms crossed but not closed. Feels like a team again, she says. Yeah, I answer, and it lands warm. I don't feel fixed. I feel engaged. That's better. Her phone buzzes. She flips it face down. We stand there listening to the quiet math of a future that might add up after all. Friday, she says, reminding me. Home Depot. Friday, I say back, and this time it sounds like a plan, not a wish. I text Derek. Rain check. Busy at home tonight. The bubbles blink, vanish, blink again. You good? He sends, which is what men say when they want to ask 10 other things. I stare at the screen, thumb hovering. Old me would toss a thumbs up and disappear into the TV. New me tries a different muscle. Learning how to listen again, I type. It looks strange there, honest and bare, like leaving the garage door open. I hit send before pride can edit me. He replies with a single and nothing else. No sermon, no joke, just a little square that somehow lands like, yeah, do that. I don't know why it warms me, but it does. Maybe because approval without noise is rare. Maybe because it feels like permission to change without having to explain the whole story. I put the phone face down. In the kitchen, the list on the fridge stares brave. Maya moves around the room easy, the way you do when the floor feels steady. I rinse 2 mugs and she slides me a dish towel. We don't talk much. We don't need to. Her hand grazes mine and stays for a second longer than necessary. It's nothing. It's everything. I send Derek one more line. Friday, Home Depot. He answers, proud of you, man. I smile at the sink, at the ordinary proof that I'm not a ghost anymore. But a map only works if you keep moving, and I'm not sure I remember how. Morning hits clean. I step outside to grab the trash can and find Mr. Hensley at the edge of his lawn, hose in hand, water catching sun like a string of cheap diamonds. How you doing, Cole? He asks, that slow Ohio drawl that turns small talk into a bench. Working on it, I say, which is true enough. He nods, a man who has seen enough storms to trust clouds. My boy went through a divorce last year, he says. He told me, Dad, I forgot how to listen. The sentence sits between us like a folding chair. I don't move past it. I don't make a joke for the exit. I just let it be heavy. The hose hisses. A bird cuts the air and is gone. Listening saves people, he adds, eyes on the flowers he's trying to keep alive. It might save me, I answer. It comes out before I plan it. He looks over, measuring me, then nods like I handed in a decent tool. Good man, he says. Good luck Friday. Thanks, I tell him, and I mean more than Friday. I mean the whole road back. Inside, I wash my hands and watch the water run clear. The list on the fridge, the mugs, the promise. None of it feels small. It feels aimed. Friday's coming, and this time, I either build or break. She texts from the parking lot, covering an extra shift, then walks in late wearing the day like a weight belt. I keep dinner simple. Skillet chicken, a bowl of buttered corn the way she likes it, pepper cracked heavy. On the fridge are taped note weights. Rule number 1, talk 20, no phones. I touch the corner like a light switch. We sit. We power down. The kitchen gets quiet in that good way, like a church after the hymn. She rolls her shoulders, eyes still wired from fluorescent lights and customers who think the world owes them change. I slide the corn across. She spoons a little, then a little more. The first bite softens her face a shade. Rough? I ask. She nods. No scrolling, no escape hatch, just two people with forks and air. I don't fill the silence with fixes. I let it hold us up. She breathes. I breathe with her. My phone lights. I flip it face down without looking. She notices, and something in her unclenches. The rule isn't fancy. It's a door. We step through and sit on the other side like it's our own porch. 10 minutes crawl into 12, into 15. She tells me one small thing about a broken scanner and a man who cursed. I listen like it matters because it does. No screens, just us, the first real meal in months. Funny how silence used to kill us, and now it's saving us. She keeps talking, voice lower now, the way tires sound on wet road. Kroger's short again. I'm covering and smiling and my feet feel like bricks. She laughs once without joy. Sometimes I'm scared to come home. Scared of me? I ask, careful. Scared you'll look at me like I disappointed you, she says, eyes on the corn bowl. Like I'm not enough. I don't have room for that on top of everything. I let it land. I deserve it too. I'm not disappointed in you, I say. I'm disappointed in me. The truth is simple and sharp. Losing that job took more than a paycheck. I acted like silence was strength. It wasn't. It was me tapping out. She exhales, half laugh, half surrender. For a second, we both stare at the dumbest little corn kernel stuck to the rim and smile the same tired smile. The tension slides off the table like a glass ring from a sweating cup. I didn't want to pile on, she says, so I kept my mouth shut. Me too, I answer, and we built a wall out of courtesy. We sit in it, not proud, not punished, just honest. The room feels wider. She reaches for my hand and doesn't find a ghost this time. We're not fixed, but we're facing the same way, toward a road that might actually take us somewhere. But facing the same way doesn't mean walking the same pace. Not yet. I go back to Home Depot on a weekday afternoon when the parking lot feels honest. Half full, no pretending. Alvarez is at the counter, sleeves pushed, pen behind his ear. He remembers me with a nod. Evening shifts, he says. You still interested? My chest wants to bolt. My mouth stays. We sit on two stools under the hum of lights that don't flatter anyone. He asks the usual. Availability, weekends, can you lift, can you learn? I don't sell. I don't spin. I'm 50, I tell him. I'm slow, but steady. I show up. I won't ghost you. I need the work, and I won't waste it. The words feel like setting a tool in the right slot. He watches me a second, then nods once. Fair answer. I'll know by next week. No fanfare. Just a bridge I can walk if I keep my feet under me. Outside, the air tastes better than it should. I stand by the cart return and breathe like a man who just put down a weight he carried wrong. No applause, no miracle, just dignity finding its shoes. I text Maya. Interview done. She replies a simple heart. It lands clean. I don't feel bigger. I feel square, plumb, the kind of straight you get when you stop hiding. I head home with a small thing I haven't had in months, momentum. Next week decides if we breathe or break again. After dinner, the gas bill comes out like a bad tooth. Numbers don't care about our progress. Maya circles a charge and says, we can't keep missing the due date. Her voice has an edge, not a blade, a warning. My old reflex stands up fast. Leave the room, find the TV, let the storm pass without me. I take 2 steps, feel the doorway, and stop. The air behind me is easy. The air in front is heavy and right. I turn back, sit down, hands open on the table like I'm checking in a weapon. I'm here, I say. I'm listening. She keeps going, slower now. When I don't know where we are with this stuff, I carry it alone. I nod, not to end it, but to absorb it. The word alone lands and stays. You don't have to fix it, she adds. Just don't leave me in it by myself. I want to argue a little, explain the missed notice, the app glitch, my head. I don't. I repeat what matters. I hear you. The heat in the room shifts. Her shoulders drop a notch. The bill hasn't changed, but the math has. Us. It. We set reminders, split tasks. I call tomorrow, she moves the due date. Small controls, big effect. Her voice softens without trying. Mine does too. I didn't win anything tonight. I stayed. In the room with fire. And it didn't burn us down. But fire doesn't forgive twice. We move through the kitchen like we remember how. I wipe the counters slow. She stacks plates that still hold the day's heat. The sponge squeaks. The faucet hisses. Our shoulders bump once. No performance, no flinch. Her hand brushes mine when she passes the dish towel. A quick spark that doesn't ask for applause. The light over the sink feels warmer than last week, or maybe that's just us finally facing it. Somewhere in the house, a dusty speaker hums a little Americana, guitar soft as a back road at dusk. We don't sing. We don't need to. The quiet has a pulse now. When the sink clears, I take a small square of paper and a magnet that used to hold grocery lists. I write 2 words that have been circling my head since the rain. Mend, end, not fancy, true. I pin it to the fridge beside Westgate's old magnet, 2 ghosts facing forward. She reads it once, then again, and the corner of her mouth lifts like a flag in a wind we finally get to use. We keep moving. Pan dries, glass clinks, trash bag ties clean. The room smells like soap and lemon and second chances. Before we kill the light, I tap the note with a knuckle. She taps it too, a sign we can both see, even on bad days. Tomorrow we test the small things, money, meals, a plan we can carry without breaking. And small things have teeth. Saturday we play it simple. Costco, list in my pocket, cart that wants to run. I take the paper out before the store can seduce us. Chicken, rice, beans, eggs, food that fills and forgives. We walk past the samples like grown-ups. I steer wide of the shiny nonsense I used to toss in for the hit of feeling generous. Maya talks meal prep, 3 dinners stretched into 5. I jot notes like a rookie learning the playbook. She watches my pen, then my face, a second longer than usual, like she's relearning me in good light. We trade a dumb joke in the cereal aisle about fiber and middle age. It lands easy, no edge on it. At checkout, the total doesn't bite. We bag slow, not because we're stalling, but because nothing's chasing us for once. In the parking lot, the air is bright and ordinary. I load the trunk. She reads the list and crosses the last line with a flourish that makes the smallest pride show up. Feels doable, she says. Feels earned, I answer, and I mean it. We sit in the car for a beat, doors open to the warm day, half laugh still hanging between us like a string light. Her phone buzzes, one short pulse. She glances, then tucks it away. I start the engine and catch her looking at me, steady. Some things are coming back. Some things are on their way. But every road back home has one last turn. Her group chat pings. Weekend plans, same crew. She stares at the screen long enough for doubt to build a case. I catch it and feel the old urge rise, to ask who, where, how long. Control dressed up as care. I swallow it. Go, I say. And say whatever's true about me. The words taste like a door unlocking. She studies my face for the trick that isn't there. A small smile shows up, tired and kind. I will, she says. Not a threat. A promise to be real. That should scare me. It doesn't. It steadies me. We move around each other getting ready for ordinary life. Laundry, trash, groceries we forgot. At the door, she pauses like she's checking the weather inside our house. I lift a shoulder. We're okay. She nods, pockets her phone, and pulls the door shut. It closes soft, not like a verdict, more like a book you plan to keep reading. I stand in the quiet and let my chest unclench. The trust is new, and it isn't blind. It's chosen. It says, I won't police you into loving me. I won't punish you with fear. If the truth hurts, we'll sit with it. Her car backs out. The house holds. I look at the fridge, mend end, and mean it louder than I ever have. Later, I sit in the backyard under a blunt blue sky. The fence needs paint. The grass needs a war I don't want to fight. I scroll past headlines about men my age falling into holes you can't see. Loneliness dressed in lawn care, silence dressed in, I'm fine. I know the costume. I wore it. I open a group thread with guys I actually like. Derek, 2 former coworkers, a neighbor from down the block. Coffee Saturday? Just talk. No fixing, no judging. I hover, hit send. The bubbles appear. I'm in. Same. Could use it. One man writes, been rough, thanks. The phone cools in my hand. I picture a table at the cheap diner on Main, 4 mugs that taste like nothing and help anyway. A place to say the sentence out loud before it turns into rust. I'm scared. I'm tired. I don't know how to be useful. Maybe we pass a little oxygen around. I text a time, a place. Derek replies with a thumbs up and a simple proud of you. That word again. It hits different when it isn't tied to a paycheck. Inside, the house is quiet in the good way. The list on the fridge holds. The note holds. I hold. Saturday has a shape now. Men, coffee, air. A small safe room where somebody pulls the fire alarm before the building burns. The call comes mid-afternoon. Unknown number. I almost let it die, then swipe. Home Depot here. Can you do evenings? 2-week trial. The words stack neat and real. I give a yes that feels like a handhold. After, I just stand there with the dial tone buzzing around my ribs like a loose screw. I find Maya in the kitchen. They want me for nights, 2 weeks to see. She doesn't cheer. She steps in and hugs me short and sure, like tapping a nail true. No speech, no confetti, just pressure where it counts. I laugh, a real one I haven't heard in my own throat for months. It sounds like air finding a room that forgot it had windows. We take it out to the porch. Evening settles soft over the street. The hum of tires, a kid's shout somewhere, the smell of fresh cut from a neighbor who believes in lines. We don't plan the rest of our lives. We don't pretend this fixes everything. She leans on me. I lean back. Work isn't who you are, she says. I know, I answer, but it helps me breathe. We watch the sky trade colors like a fair deal. Nothing dramatic, but my chest loosens. The world doesn't feel bigger. It feels usable. I text Derek one word, started, and pocket the phone. Tonight, the list on the fridge isn't a lecture. It's a map I can walk. First night, orange apron, name tag that still feels like a dare. The scanner gun fits my hand different than a wrench, but it speaks plain. Beep for good, silence for wrong. I learn the aisles in loops. Lumber, hardware, plumbing. Alphabet I used to know by instinct. The rhythm comes back slow. I'm not fast. I am steady. A kid named Tyler shows me the barcode quirks and which end caps hide the stubborn tags. He talks schedule, why nights get the weird shipments and the last-minute mess. He doesn't complain. He gives me a map. I tell him thanks and mean it. He shrugs like decency shouldn't be rare. Between carts, I catch myself standing taller, like my bones remembered their job. A woman needs help finding a part for a leaky faucet. I walk her there without guessing, pull the right piece, explain the seal. Her face says relief. Mine says useful. It's small. It hits like oxygen. On break, I text Maya a photo. Apron, dusty grin, thumb up I didn't practice. I'm okay, I write. She sends back a heart and proud of you. That word again. It lands better than a paycheck. When my shift ends, my legs ache honest. I clock out, hang the gun, and nod to Tyler like we survived something worth surviving. Driving home, I feel the night press in, and I press back. She gets home late, keys soft in the lock, shoulders riding high from a long shift. I'm at the table with 2 mugs and the note on the fridge staring bold. Rule number 1, 20 minutes, no phones. We don't make a ceremony out of it. We just switch our screens off and leave them face down like tools we're not using tonight. Customer lost it over coupons, she says, rolling her neck. Scanner froze, line backed up. I could feel my brain trying to walk out the door. I let the words come at their own speed. No fixes, no speeches. I nod when it helps and keep my mouth quiet when it doesn't. She keeps going. little frictions that slice a day into ribbons. A kid who cried, a manager who didn't, the ache in her feet that laughs at insoles. I ask two questions that aren't traps. What made it worst, and what would have helped? She answers, not to be solved, but to be heard. The muscles in her face loosen like a knot getting air. At minute 16, she exhales and leans back. Thanks for listening, she says, not casual, grateful. It lands in me like water. We sit in the earned quiet. Rain starts a soft drum on the siding. She reaches for my hand under the table. I don't grab it, I hold it. The rule did its job. Screens off, defenses down, we on. And for the first time in a while, she looks at me and sees me. Later, she's on speaker with Lauren, folding laundry into stacks that look like order. I'm rinsing dishes, not eavesdropping so much as sharing a room. You okay? Lauren asks, straight as ever. Better, Maya says. He's here. Not perfect, not fixed. Here. I catch the word and pocket it like change you forgot you had. A quick summer rain slams the roof, then backs off, leaving that clean dirt smell the yard only makes after it gets what it needs. The house takes a long breath with us. I wipe my hands and lean on the counter, a small smile I don't have to hide. Validation from the outside hits different. It's like a stud finder clicking under drywall. There. Solid. Lauren says she's proud of Maya for saying what she needs. Maya says she's proud of me for listening. I don't flinch at the praise. I let it land and do its quiet work. The old me would have ducked or made a joke. The new me lets the room be warm. Thunder rumbles far off, like a warning we can hear now. We're not asleep at the wheel anymore. She hangs up. We stand there listening to the last drops tick off the gutter. Coffee with the guys Saturday? She asks. Yeah, I say. Safe room. She nods, eyes steady. Outside, the street shines. Inside, so do we, just enough to see the next step. Derek pings me. Coffee meetup worked. Needed that. I grin at the screen. Men talk, fewer explosions, I send back. He fires a laugh emoji and a fax. I drop a link to a simple podcast. Guys our age, no gurus, just scars. This, I write. Not fancy. True. He forwards it to a cousin. The thread wakes up. 2 ex-coworkers chime in. A neighbor I only wave to says, mind if I come? Saturday 9 a.m., Main Street Diner, I post. No speeches, just chairs. Thumbs up stack like little green lights. One guy writes, haven't slept right in months. Another, same. The honesty lands heavy and weirdly kind, like someone opening a window in a stuffy room. Maya leans over my shoulder, reads a line, and squeezes the back of my neck. Quick, proud. Pay it forward, she says. It doesn't sound like a slogan. It sounds like permission. I pocket the phone and step outside. Evening's clean. The world smells like cut grass and second chances. I picture that diner. Bad coffee, good relief, and men handing each other oxygen the way dads pass water at Little League. Quiet help, no capes. My chest settles. The circle got bigger by 5 names and a plan. That's not magic, that's maintenance. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like a man who can hold a bolt steady while someone else turns the wrench. Saturday's set. So are we. It's dumb, the kind of dumb that used to light the fuse. We're down to the cardboard roll. Maya says, we talked about a list. My jaw clicks, old gear waking. A defense spins up. I worked a night shift, I'm tired, it's just paper. I hear the speech in my head and hate its voice. I breathe once, twice. My bad, I say. Then I make it larger and truer. I'm wrong. The words feel like breaking a stubborn bolt free, tight, then loose, then relief. Her face goes from guarded to almost amused. Look at you, she says, laughing, and the air drops 20 degrees toward easy. I grab my keys. I'll run out, I add. Not as penance, just partnership. She steps in and gives me a quick hug at the door, the kind that says this is small, but it matters. We stand there half a beat longer than we would have last month. No speech about systems. No courtroom. Just a man catching what he dropped and a woman not having to carry it alone. The role is nothing. The move is everything. On the way to the store, I text Derek. 2 words fix more than tools. I'm wrong. He replies, add I hear you. I smile, grab a 12-pack, and head home to the kind of quiet that doesn't punish. Tomorrow we get to test that quiet in public. Saturday brings chalk lines and squeaky bleachers at the Little League field down the street. Kids in baggy uniforms chase a game bigger than they are. Parents clap like it counts for rent. I buy one roasted corn, split it down the seam, hand Maya the better half without thinking. Butter shines our fingers. We laugh at how messy we are, like we forgot to care who's watching. A foul ball pops up and everyone tracks it at once, heads tilting, hands lifting, that little town miracle when strangers move the same way. It clears the fence and we both flinch, then laugh at ourselves. Our eyes meet and don't look away. No scoreboard for that, but it feels like a tie-breaking clean. We don't talk about bills or shifts or the hard gravity of grown-up life. We talk about the kid who runs like his shoes lie, the coach who high-fives every failure like it's rent paid. I can feel the noise of the week drain out of my bones. Ordinary joy, cheap and real. On the walk home, the evening leans easy. She threads her arm through mine. No speech, no fix, just a pace we can hold. The house waits, not like a test, but like a couch after a long day. For once, regular feels like a luxury I can afford. Later, I clean out the Ford because that's what you do when life starts making room again. Under old receipts and a dead pen, I find the envelope. The divorce papers wear last week's rain like bruises. Dark swells along the edge, my name bleeding a little where the ink met water. I sit behind the wheel and hold the thing that almost held me. My hands shake, not from fear exactly, more like recognition. This was my exit, my shortcut, my excuse with a stamp. I pull a breath in slow and steady, the way you do when a doctor says, hold, almost there. My signature slants across the page, hard and fast, like a younger, angrier man using speed to fake courage. I remember the empty peace I promised myself. Clean, quiet, final. I also remember Maya's voice through rain. He didn't cheat with a person. He cheated with silence. The words slide under the seal like a pry bar. I stare long enough to hear the house in my head. Kettle click, mugs breathing, the dumb little note on the fridge that somehow tells the truth. Mend. End. 2 words. 1 dare. The street outside is calm. Inside the car, a verdict gathers weight. I'm not punishing either of us with this paper anymore. I look at my name one last time and decide what it's going to mean. I hold the envelope the way you hold something sharp, careful, finally honest about what it can do. The paper's gone wavy from rain, edges tough, like it wants one more fight. I slip a thumb under the flap and tear slow, not dramatic, deliberate. The sound surprises me, a dry, steady rip that feels like unhooking a stubborn stitch. No music, just paper giving up its lie. Half gone, I pause. Not to doubt, to witness. 22 years nearly ended by a form and a pride that couldn't say, I'm scared. I finish the tear, long and clean. It leaves my hands light, like I've been lifting a bucket with no water and still got tired from pretending. I smile without showing teeth. My eyes burn, not from grief, from air. I fold the wreck once, twice, and drop it into the kitchen trash. Coffee grounds, lemon peels, yesterday's mail. Right where it belongs, with things that had their use and don't anymore. Sun cuts through the window in broken squares, dust turning to glitter just long enough to bless the room. On the fridge, the little note we made ourselves, mend, end, catches the light. 2 words, 1 spine. I'm staying, I say to the quiet that used to scare me. I'm staying to fix what I helped break. The house doesn't answer. It doesn't have to. I can breathe. Night finds us back where the worst started and the better began. The kitchen, lights soft, 2 ceramic mugs sending up thin ghosts of heat. No soundtrack, no sermon. Just breath and the small knocks a house makes when it's settling after a long day. We stand a foot apart and then less. I feel the week in my bones, the field and the coffee and the scanner gun and the sound of paper ripping, and I feel something steadier underneath all of it. Us. Not shiny, not new. Us. With the dents that prove we've been used for what we're for. I still believe in us, I say. No preface. no hedge. The words leave my mouth simple as steam and hang there long enough to be real. Maya doesn't rush her answer. She looks at me like she's measuring a beam, checking if it will hold. Then, me too. It's not big, it's heavy. It lands where I live. We don't hug like a movie. Our hands find each other and lace like they did when rent was late and laughter was cheap. Fingers settle, shoulders drop. The room grows 5 degrees warmer without trying. Outside, the street is quiet. Inside, the quiet isn't empty anymore. It's the space we work in. 2 mugs breathe. 2 people do. We don't plan the next 20 years. We plant them, right here, with this small, stubborn vow. Tomorrow can come. We're present. Here's what I know now. A marriage isn't measured by how clean it looks from outside, but by how 2 people handle the cracks when they show up. A man doesn't lose his edge by saying he's afraid. He loses it when he hides, goes quiet, and calls that strength. Love isn't a speech. It's 20 quiet minutes with the phones down, showing up to hear each other, even when the words come out rough. A job can steady your breath, but it doesn't define your name. Respect is earned at home, by staying in the hard room, by repairing the damage you helped cause, by choosing presence over pride. If you're standing where I stood, hand on the doorknob, ready to leave, try this first. Ask one honest question, listen all the way to the end, and stay long enough to mean it. Paper is easy. People are not. Choose the work that matters. I want to hear from you. Drop one small detail that pulled you back from quitting. A sentence you heard, a habit you changed, a moment you decided to remain. Keep it real. Keep names out of it. Your line might give someone else air tonight. If this spoke to you, subscribe and stick around. More stories are coming, about men finding their voice and couples learning how to stand together.